right, we're joined now by Benson Upah, who is the head of information and public affairs at the Nigeria Labour Congress, the NLC. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Upah. Against all entreaties by the federal government, you went ahead with this two-day protest. Well, it does seem like, in spite of the fact that it looked fractured, I mean, the TUC and 65 other groups had pulled out, you know, distancing themselves from this protest. You have made a strong point, haven't you? But are you satisfied with the response you got both at the National Assembly and at the state levels?
Absolutely. And also, let me use this opportunity to correct this impression. We were never in touch with any 65 non-governmental organizations. Those certainly must be government's invention. We do not know of any 65 civil society organizations. Okay? So as for the rating of the success of this outing, I would say it was marvelous from state to state, including Abuja.
Yeah, it was marvelous, but the response you got, I mean, how satisfactory? The government, before you went on this protest, actually says it had met up to 80% of your demands.
Well, I mean, the government has every right to say what it wants to say, but you and I know that what government says is far, far, far from the truth. I have the list of the 15-point agreement here signed on October 2nd, 2023. The government has met little or nothing. CNG buses are not here. The wage award, they are just about to start. Other issues that are connected to the unions in the universities, in academic institutions, their demands have not been met. So if I go through the list, you will see for yourself that government has been observing the terms and conditions of our agreement in breach. It has not kept faith. As to your question whether we are satisfied with the response we got, well, I would say what we heard was okay. Let us hope it is not another round of government killing a cow with its mouth and Nigerians eating the cow with their ears. The government owes itself the duty of care. I mean the duty to be taken seriously by the citizenry. It does not gain anything when all the image or government gains nothing from the impression that all it does is 419 behavior. Say one thing today, do another one tomorrow. No. Government must be serious because governance is serious business.
Mr. Upah, again, thank you for joining us. I understand it's been a tedious day for you and other members. Quickly, before we go deep, has the protest for tomorrow been called off?
No. I can tell you that as part of the process of tomorrow's activities, we shall be addressing the world press tomorrow by 12 noon, Labour House, Committee Room.
In other words, I don't know if you've seen information on social media and other news platforms saying that the protest by Labour for tomorrow is already suspended. So are you saying we should categorically take it from you that that is fake?
Take it from me that there will be a press conference tomorrow at 12 noon. And across the 36 states, the same thing will be happening. That is another stage of our protest. So the protest continues tomorrow.
All right, let's get your reaction to some of the developments in terms of, addressing this hunger issue in Nigeria? Well, the Nigerian Senate is actually urging the federal government to, come up with food stamps, and it should be with immediate effect. What's your reaction to that? Isn't that a demonstration on the part of government that it really is desperate to find a way forward?
Has government told you it's ready to issue out food stamps? If it has said so, we should wait until we see the government do so. Because it is one thing to make a promise, it is another thing to keep that promise. And our experience shows that promises have not been kept. And all we're telling the government, all we're saying is reset the economy. Those policies that have engineered this hardship, you know them. No reasonable government will leave its national currency at the mercy of the market storms. Not even China, not even the United States. So government knows what it has done. You see, this injury, this deep wound that has produced collateral damage is caused by two policies. The massive devaluation of the Naira in the name of the measure of the exchange rates maintained by the CBN, and the removal of subsidy. Instead of government dealing with the criminals in the subsidy, government turned on the helpless people, the poor people, and came out with this ingenious argument that the poor do not benefit from subsidy, as if the poor operate in the air. Everybody benefits from a subsidy, and all governments do subsidy. Even the United States, they do subsidy. At the moment, the Western countries are even doing two-tier subsidies. The first subsidy, naturally there. Second subsidy, occasioned by the war in Ukraine. You recall when across the Western capitals that people spilled out of the streets, telling their governments, enough is enough. We cannot take this high cost of living. And government retraces steps and had to introduce certain measures to cushion the effects. So this government, if it wants to be taken seriously, has to retrace its steps. This government has to think of Nigerians first. This government should stop playing boy to the World Bank and the IMF. I want to be put on record as advising the government that the IMF and World Bank cannot help it. And the IMF and World Bank did not vote this government into office, okay? And there is nowhere where these Bretton Woods institutions have midwifed any economy.
Mr. Upah, if you let me comment here quickly. Now we're talking about the government. We understand yesterday there was a meeting between the representatives on your body, which didn't get a headway. Would you mind letting Nigerians know what were the divergent points between Labour and the government on the 9th?
Well, our point of divergence has always been the non-observance of the terms contained in our MOU signed on October 2nd, 2023. And they are very well known to you. Okay? The other point of divergence is that government believes a peaceful protest is a threat to the security of the nation. But once again, we have proved them wrong. 36 states and FCT, we didn't record any incident. Do you understand? So what actually constitutes a threat to this country are government's bad policies, not peaceful protests by citizens. The right to peaceful protest is enshrined in our constitution. The right to hold an opinion, and the right to peacefully express that opinion. But government was making a big mountain out of it, that we are constituting a threat to national security. But of course, what else do you expect? They get everything free. You and I, we pay for everything with our blood, okay? And quite unfortunately, some of those people telling us these things today, we are on the side of popular struggle in the past. They have forgotten their own history.
And before we let you go, just like I pointed out earlier, the TUC had distanced itself from this protest. Are you concerned that you may not have the TUC in the same boat or on the same page, if you like, with organized labor?
Well, let me just state this clearly, that TUC is a labor center with its thoughts, rights, duties, and obligations. The Nigerian Labour Congress is another labor center. I'm not here to sit in judgment over TUC. The TUC has every right to take the decisions it likes, so long as it can live with them.
Okay, thank you very much. On that note, we'll have to say thank you very much, Secretary General of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Benson Upah.